So, I was on holiday in Las Vegas last week thinking, what could be better, Richie, than the ARRMA Granite 4x4 3S BLX? Well, possibly the ARRMA Granite Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX. Now you might be thinking, it's just a change in body style, Rich. Why have you got one of those? Well, there's a couple of subtle differences that you'll see as I unbox the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX. Well, as I say, I was in Vegas last week, had a great time there for my birthday, and I thought, why not have a look on the Horizon Hobby site, Richie, and choose yourself a little special birthday present in time for when you get back. So here we are with the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4. Got myself a nice reaction 50C pack, as I was very impressed with the one that I got with the Granite 4x4. Plenty of punch, superb runtime, I have to say. A little bit pricier than some of the lipos I use, but it's definitely getting a thumbs up from Richie in terms of the punch it delivers, and that duration cannot be beaten. Full test on the battery coming up very shortly. Now, before I get on with the unboxing, little idea that popped into my head when I saw this, actually, which is stuck in the back of my mind since seeing that little teaser video that they did. If people saw that when I put the teaser video of the Big Rock out, where they showed the outline of the thing, you weren't quite sure were they bringing out an ASX Max rival or not. It occurs to me that they've maybe gone with this 1/10 body because they have got an ASX Max rival coming, and therefore keep the Big Rock name, as it were, alive for the minute, but put it on an ASX Max rival. Just a thought there, guys. Have your say in the comment section below the video. Seeing this in the flesh now, definitely an idea in my mind that we could see this body again on a much bigger car. So what do we get for our money? And we'll say I put a link to this car on the Horizon Hobby website below the video. Now, I have to say, that electric blue is absolutely eye-popping in the flesh. So I hope when I got the cover off, this comes out just as well on camera. So before we get on to the car, let's have a quick look at what else we get for our money. Well, we've got our instruction manual, little wheel spanner on there, a few spaces for preloading the shocks with, but more importantly, on this side of the cover, no time to read, you've got a QR code. Scan that in with your phone and it takes you straight to like a video and online setup guide on the thing as just how to get up and running with your ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX. A lot of people can learn from that. Very neat idea to my mind. Swiftly moving on, we've got our ubiquitous Tactic radio in here. Nice solid feel to the Tactic transmitter as ever. 4 AA batteries in the middle. Okay, on the transmitter, quite well functioning on there. Got the on-off switch on the back. You've got the ability to reverse the steering and reverse the throttle as well on the back of there. On the front, we've got steering dual rate, throttle trim and steering trim. But the important one on here is the steering dual rate, which means when you're going at high speed, you can turn the steering level right down so that when you're doing maybe speed runs with the car flat out at 50, that you can turn the steering, it just makes a tiniest little correction to the car. Yeah, when you're going at lower speed, you can have it turned right up, so you get a maximum angle on the car. But you don't want that maximum angle when you're doing speed runs. So if you're mainly going blasting around at high, you maybe want to dial the steering down, so when you turn the wheel, the car is not violently changing direction. To anybody that didn't know what steering dual rate does, now you do. So when it comes to the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX, what do we get for our money? Well, we get, as I say, our instruction book, mini toolkit on there, our transmitter, the car itself. What we don't get is a battery or charger. You will need to buy batteries and chargers in order to make this car work. Anyway, let's get on to that car. Well, I have to say, I'm visually blown away by the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX. And one thing being that immediately jumps out, it is, you think it's the kind of same platform as the Granite and the Senton, but it is like looking at a different car, because just check out the wheelbase on this thing. I'm going to put them side by side later. Versus the Granite. The Granite looks about 6 inches shorter. It's only 5 inches shorter on the wheelbase, but the difference that it makes visually is just absolutely massive. I will put them on, as I say, side by side on the bench at the end of this video, but that is definitely going to help in the high speed stability of this thing. This thing is going to be much better at speed than the Granite is there, simply due to the extra wheelbase. Anyway, I'll start at the front and pan them round. Oh, I am highly impressed with this, boys. Highly impressed. I'm going to go down the car and then come back around the sides there. As I say, if they do come out with an 8S version of this as an X-Max killer, I wonder if they're going to put this Big Rock body on it from the outset. I'm betting maybe they are. As I say, 4-wheel drive, independent suspension all round. Now while it may have plastic drive shafts, don't let that put you off for a minute. My original ARRMA Granite, I've running on up to 6S, never broke a single drive shaft, which is more than can be said for my Rustler. Indeed, I've had to replace the plastic drive shafts on my Traxxas Rustler 4x4 BXL as it snapped 2 of them on just 3S, and as I said, I ran my ARRMA Granite on the plastic drive shafts which fitted to the Big Rock here, and I've never broken a single one, even on 6S power. So gotta love the ARRMA turf. Anyway, thumbs up if you like that body, because I am loving that with the chrome as well. Very, very neat. And we got the wheelie bar on the back there, which is maybe the only kind of weak point on these cars. I would recommend, if you're going and doing lots of off-road jumps, remove this wheelie bar and let the rear bumper take the impact on there, because this thing does not like rear down shunts on there. The one on the Rustler flexes, whereas this doesn't flex too much if it lands bang down, straight down on its rear end on the ground. So I will get the body off in just a second, but you can see again there, 4-wheel drive, independent suspension. So what are we thinking, guys? Are we liking that? Because I cannot wait to test this thing out, and I'm going to test it out as well head to head against the Granite, so I can talk through the differences in how the thing handles, particularly at speed. And besides that body looking very different from the one on the Granite, the sharp-eyed amongst you will have spotted the tyre tread and the wheels are completely different from that on the Granite. I'll just show you on that, just check that out, versus the ones down on the Granite. These are far more like monster truck tyres. These are more scale looking, I would say, on the Big Rock. Well, they're obviously monster truck tyres still. Now coming back to that body, you will notice on here the body clips are attached, as they are on all ARRMAs, on these very handy little rubber ties, which meaning you're never going to lose any of the body clips. So let's have a look under the skin and see what we've got. Now, first things first, this little bearing, this is different to the Granite. I believe it is the same on the Senton, because I think somebody said it's the same on the Senton with the longer wheelbase on here. That extra 5 centimeters, maybe I'm a little bit worried that vibration with the extra brushless power might cause a few problems on here. So they put this support bearing on here, which you won't find on the ARRMA Granite, as I say, purely down to the wheelbase on there. But it's good that they've put that in. I never had any vibration problems with mine, but it's good that somebody's maybe foreseen to eliminate any vibration problems before they occur, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's have a look down from the front on down. Our chrome bumper on that, a little substantial impact bumper beyond there. Our shocks, as I say, they are adjustable with preload spacers that they come with. They're not screw thread ones. On it, fully adjustable suspension geometry on here though. As I said, plastic drive shaft tucked away down in there. But as I say, mine, I powered my original Granite on up to 6S, and it's still running on the same shafts, boys and girls. Now we've got uprated diffs, both front and rear on that. We've got our slipper clutch tucked away in the central diff. We've got the second logical order. Moving down at the front here, we've got our waterproof servo on there. Our EC connector leading to our brushless ESC. This will take either 2S or a 3S, but I've dove straight in with a 3S battery pack. And moving on down, we've got our brushless 3200 kV motor on here with a heatsink to keep things nice and cool. The Traxxas cars, the VXL ones, have a 3500 kV motor. 3200 kV on this should give you plenty of torque, particularly given those extra size of the monster tyres on here. As I say, slipper clutch tucked away down in there. If anyone's wondering what this little tab is on here, to remove this motor assembly, as an example, as I say, these are easy to work on. One screw underneath, this little red tab pulls out the way, lift that, pull the shaft back, and that whole assembly comes out. You can do it at a push in under a minute, but I would say any of the jobs on here, changing this motor out, under 10 minutes, completely swapping all the electrics round down here, under 10 minutes, very easy to access. As I say, change out the diff either end, under a 10-minute job. So it's very, very easy car to work on. So if you're new to RC, you want something that's nice and easy to work on, then the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX definitely one to consider. Moving on around the back, we've got fully adjustable suspension on there again. Shocks can be changed with additional preloader, which is spacers which it comes with. Got a rear bumper on there, and as I said, a little better view of the wheelie bar is adjustable to So about 3 different positions on the back there. Now the battery tray, it's got Velcro straps on it. It's also got, you will note, little spacers, one at either end, which can be removed by just 1 or 2 screws to remove those to fit larger packs in lengthwise if you need to do so. But the reaction pack I've got down there will just drop straight in. Down underneath the car, one thing I would say is you've got both front and rear body posts that are fully adjustable. Let's have a look at the underside of the car. And down from the back, fairly beefy A-arms on that. Nice smooth underside, so as I said, all tough plastic on there. But you're going to have to do something fairly stupid to damage this car. Well, we're just going to do a quick suspension test. I would just say at this point though, the height of the truck is just under 1 centimetre higher than the ARRMA Granite is as well. Just thought people might find that of interest. Okay, quick suspension test. Let's lift that front wheel till the rear one comes up. And that's just one lift, probably about 2.5, maybe 3 inches of travel on that. Damping wise, let's take a fairly big hit. Chuck the rear, and lift until the front comes up. Yeah, I'd say we've got a good 3 inches of travel on the rear there. Again, fairly nicely damped. That's going to take some big hits. Okay, well, time to compare them side by side. ARRMA Big Rock BLX on the left, ARRMA Granite BLX on the right. As you can definitely see, that extra 5 centimeters of wheelbase on the Big Rock just jumps out over and above the Granite. Just zooming in here, you can see the differences in the tyres. Substantially narrow tyres on the Big Rock, but then it has got that longer wheelbase, so it's going to be more stable at speed than the Granite is. Also, being longer, the Big Rock is going to want to wheelie slightly less than the Granite BLX is, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I do like to drive with all 4 wheels on the ground. Actually, wheeling is fun for a while, but as speed picks up, you really want all 4 wheels on the ground. So while I have good fun with my Granite, I am looking forward to the extra stability that the ARRMA Big Rock BLX will give me. Anyway guys, hope you found that side-by-side comparison useful. Well guys, hope you like the review of the ARRMA Big Rock 4x4 3S BLX. I'll link to this very car below the video. I will be doing a full running test of this car this week, where I'm going to talk about the differences in the handling, as it will be quite substantial due to the differences in the tyre size and the extended wheelbase on this car. Will it handle better at speed? I should certainly think so. Will it want to wheelie less? Well, maybe a little bit less, but we shall see. Because we've got 3,200 kV motor in here, got quite a lot of power in here nonetheless. I'm also going to stick the GPS on it. It's not that I don't think it will hit 50, because I do think it will hit 50, but I think the way in which it gets there will be improved upon the Granite, because that longer wheelbase will make the car much more stable at a higher speed, to my way of thinking. Anyway, as ever, you don't want to miss any of those videos, then don't forget to subscribe. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.